to show you a quick way to get an index in InDesign. Now, indexing from InDesign has a great indexing feature. You just have to know how to use it. Now, the problem is you need a document, like if a client sends you a Word document that has been marked up in Word using their indexing features, the great thing is those index markers come through in InDesign, and all you have to do is just create an index page and add all of the content, which is pretty automatic. Now, most clients are not going to mark up their index file and their Word document to include those index markers. I've probably, in the over 10 years that I've been doing this exclusively with indie authors and publishers, I've probably only had about 3 or 4 that have actually marked up in Word those indexes. What a lot of times they'll do is they'll just give me a topic list. Now, the best way to create an index is to hire a professional indexer. And there is an association of indexers that there's all sorts of different people out there available, and there's like a certification program that you can do, and it really takes a special kind of editor to be a good indexer. I could never do it, but there are people out there that will do it, and there are also people out there that will mark up an index file for you or for your client. And then there are people who just do it manually and give you, and then you'll have to insert a document at the back with all the page numbers that they put in. Now, the problem with doing that is if you make updates and the page numbers change, that index is not dynamic, it's static. So that can be a problem. So one thing that I like to offer my clients, and I typically charge around $50 for this, is just a simple index. And that simple index is based on a topic list that the client provides. Now, it's not an exact science, and it will only generate one level. So if your client wants more levels, these are going to have to be inputted manually. So this is the word list that my client gave me that she wants for this index. And so all of these second levels are going to have to be a manual thing. That's where you have to go into the document and search for that word and add an index marker on that word, and make it where it comes through this second level at a second level, for example, benefits of crates. So indexing is possible in InDesign, but it's something you definitely want to charge more for. And in certain situations, there's going to be a lot of manual process to it. Now, there are a couple of add-ons to InDesign that will do indexing. But the truth is I've played around with trial versions of a lot of these, and one of the problems is that anytime InDesign comes out with a new update, a lot of times these add-ons become broken, and then you have to wait until they'll update it to make it work. So that's a negative aspect of it. And then the truth is, I don't think they're really any better than what I do. Unfortunately, indexing is such a manual process that you can't just say, hey, here's my file, create an index for me. It just doesn't work that way, because it is really, I mean, it's even more so than editing what words need to go in an index. So, still just a little note, but I'm going to show you a quick way on how I do a quick and simple index in InDesign. So my client sent this word list to me, and what I did is I just took that word list, I removed the second levels, and I created a index file, an InDesign file, and I called it topic list. All right. And I saved it. Then I also brought up the document that I wanted indexed. All right, so I had both of these files open, and I run this script from Peter Kahrul. I'm probably butchering that, but his name is Peter, Kahrel. You can just do a search, Peter Kahrul index scripts, and it'll probably take you to his page. It looks like he moved them all to the Creative Pro site maybe, but anyway, there is a directory of all his scripts somewhere. Here is just a list of all the ones that he has regarding indexes, and I use this create index from a word list script he has. So you can do a search for him and then go to show script and save this script. And you need to make sure you save it in your scripts panel. So you can go to Reveal and Explore and copy, actually it's under here, copy this location and download that script. So you'll do the save link as, download that script to that location. Now I have already done this, so I don't need to do it again, but once you get that script in your scripts panel, you have your Word topic list, and then you have your document. You're going to go to topic list, and you're going to run that script, okay? And what that script is going to do, it's going to go through your document and look through those words, and it's going to put little index markers throughout your document for those words, all right? And once it's done that, what you can do is you can generate your index. So now, if you look, I have index on my workspace because I do indexing frequently. And you'll notice that all those words that were in my index are marked up in my index panel. All those words on the topic list, I'm sorry. And if you break those down, you'll see that it has an actual page number. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to actually generate the index. All right, so here we go, generate index. So we want the title to be index. I'm going to tell it to, I'm just going to tell it to do this heading 1 teal wide, and I think that's it. Now, if you expand all these, it gives you more information, like what style and everything. You can set a character style for the page number. So there's a bunch of different things that you can play around with. You can tell it what you want it to separate the entries. But I typically keep this all on the default, and then if I feel like I need to go in and mess with it, I will. All right, so we're going to click on OK, and it's going to give you the index on your cursor, so you just need to drop it in the text box that you want. And there is the index that we built. All right, now another time I will go through how to add terms to your index. Actually, we'll go ahead and do that now. But let me go ahead and set this. I'm going to set this as a 3-column maybe. 3-column index. All right, now a couple of things that you'll want to do is you'll see this H is down here at the bottom by itself. So we need to go in and modify that style. We want to go to our keep options, and we want to keep that with the next line, and that way we'll never have like an H, like one of the letters hanging down by itself. And then of course you can do different things to this. You can add a paragraph rule. We're going to add a rule below. Let's preview it. So you could put lines on those. We need to offset it by a little bit, and I just want it to be underneath the letter. All right, so now that's not an underline, so I could have underlined it as well, but as you see, that line is set off from the letter. So there you go. Now, let's say, let me bring up her list again. So here is her list, and I want to add, yeah, this is where it gets tricky. Let's see, the problem with come is it's going to be like, are you going to come with me, not as a command. So this is where the indexer would be able to find all the instances of come that would go under this under commands. So I'm going to pause this and I will do a longer tutorial for you later, but at least you know how to create a simple index. And next time I will do a tutorial on how to tweak and add words and add those sub levels, level 2s of the index under a word. All right.